We might have a little visitor today. Huh, Taco? Last time, Taco, Grant, one of my best buds' cats, Toaster's nephew, is a little menace. And he tore down my freaking green screen last time. Come here, show the people. Because we got us an Opie unboxing, a little update on America 250 launch. And I want to show you this little guy, huh? Come here. Come on. Come say hi. He's bashful. He's a good boy. Okay, come here. Show the people how cute you are. Look at this boy. What do you think, Taco? Pretty dirty. I don't know if Grant knows how dirty you get when you come and visit. But you're a shop cat now. These, just in case you guys don't know, the Taco and Toaster, they're Devon Rexes. And they are similar to Sphinxes, because cats genetically have 2 layers of fur. They have the really long outer shell layer of fur. They have that soft Taco. This is a family network here. Sphinx cats are completely naked. Both of those layers genetically turned off, but Devon Rexes only have the outer shell layer turned off. And so this really soft, curly wave fur is what's underneath most cats' long fur. And so that is why Devon Rexes are the best cat breed of all time, because they're also really nice and sweet. They call them monkeys in a cat suit because they literally climb on everything. Like Toaster doesn't jump. Toaster just climbs, just like climb. And he's got like big old jagged arms. And so I love them because there's no such thing as a hypoallergenic cat because it's the dander that people are allergic to. But because they don't shed as much, because if you know anything about down fur or down feathers, they stay a lot more permanent than the outer layers of fur and feathers. They don't shed them as much, and so you don't get as much airborne fur or as much airborne dander. And so they're really, really good cats if you're a little bit allergic. But if you're 100% allergic, they're still cats at the end of the day. And so I'm not even saying go buy a Devon Rex, because people are weird about purebreds and stuff, but people are always asking. And since little Taco Boy's here, I figured we'd show him off a little bit. And show him your cute little face too. Look how cute and round this little face is. Look at that little face. Oh yeah, it's a good boy. His little head is so square. He's so cute. I've tried to get Grant to just let me adopt this little guy, but he's like, no, you can't have my cat. I'm like, why? Come on. I love him. And he's like, I do too. So, thank you, Taco, for hopping on camera and not showing everyone your balloon knot. Bye. Okay, now I'm not sure how to segue that into America and the 4th of July and Americana, but we're doing a big 2000. It's been a long day. It's Monday. It's the 250th anniversary of the United States. I'm as patriotic as it gets. I love America. I love American-made goods. I love American business. I just love 4th of July. I love the American flag. I just love it all, you know? And in a world where some people are a little bit shy about their love of this nation, I have it on full blast. I just love it. And so, because we're an American-made company, we make handmade leather goods right here in this shop from American tanned leather. And I've been doing it for the last it's like technically almost 12 years now. And my whole life has changed because I was born in a family that really respected and really took the American spirit, this American dream, to the fullest. You know, my dad was a truck driver, and he single-handedly brought us out of my family when I was a kid from a truck driver salary and built his own little business and got us to a comfortable spot. Far from rich by any means, but you know, I watched my dad through this American dream bring our family to a new socioeconomic status. And so it's very intrinsic to me, and I love it, and I love American business. I love everything about it. And so that's where I get my entrepreneurial spirit from, is from my dad. And if there's one nation on this world that is the entrepreneurial nation, it's the US of A. And so to commemorate this great nation and everything it's given me and given a lot of you guys, and even though we got some flaws and some faults in this country, there there's a lot bigger flaws out there in the world. And so I just wanted to do a quick launch with some of the coolest brands that we've worked with that are American made, including one that we've never worked with that is that American spirit dream, that American grit and determination. Because if you don't know who Opie is, I literally have cold chills because I told you I just love this country, and enough gushing about it. But Opie was a small company, and they were making some like blazer style shoes, some like reimagining of some cheap like iconic shoes, but making them super premium, American made, premium materials. And they're really starting to make a name for themselves. And they even were in, I think, New York Fashion Week. Like some of the models wore them. At one of the fashion weeks, the models wore Opie. And then you might remember, we had a little bit of a once in a generation storm in North Carolina where that hurricane went all the way up into the mountains. Well, unfortunately, that's where Justin from Opie's shop was. And a literal river ran through the factory, or like the shop that he was working out of, and washed down equipment, washed down leather, washed down outsoles, washed everything, basically everything out of the shop, including all their equipment, inventory, and raw materials. And so Justin basically had to start from ground zero, you know, and probably in the hole a little bit, you know, just from all the loss of inventory and raw materials. And since that hurricane, he's been rebuilding Opie step by step to try to at least get it back to where it was and really try to make it into the company that he's wanted. And I don't know if you could do it in any other country than the United States, to be honest. Like, there's some countries you could, but that is one of the most American, like, ambitious, I don't care what happens to me. Like, that was an act of God, but I refuse to give up. I will make this a reality. And so, I get cold chills thinking about it. We've had plans to work with Opie for years, but there's just so much back and forth with the chaos that he's been going through and trying to get his business up and running. And so this is not an official collaboration, but it's as close as we've gotten to a collaboration with them. And I wanted to just get it done so that we could launch it with this because it's such an important story, and it really encapsulates that American dream of business to me. And I have no idea what's in the box. And so we're kind of going in blind. And so support Opie, not even just through this collab or this drop of American made goods for the 4th of July. We're also in Utah. We have the 4th and the 24th. So I'm double patriotic. And also the Sundances are still available. So they're part of the launch because we just barely launched them. And so we just hit up White's, was like, do you guys want to just keep them live until we launch this American made little campaign? And then they're like, yeah, let's do it. Because if Opie is the new generation, the new era of trying to establish an American-made, a US-made business, White's is the old school, since the 1800s, American-made brand. They are owned by ABC Mart, which is a Japanese company, but if there's one company in the world that would own a US company that would still maintain those hardcore values of American-made goods, it's a Japanese company. And so there's, but the thing is, they're all made on US soil. They're all made by American labor. This leather's American tanned. Most of so the majority of the boot is truly American, even though it's owned by ABC Mart. And I would take that to keep this business alive, because White's has been around for, I think it was like 1875 or something. Hold up, what am I doing? When was White's Boots established? Since 1853, it's even older than I thought. Legacy Boots. Since 1853, the legacy of White's Boots has been in service to the American worker, logger, and log driver. Started wearing our boots in 1880. Linemen wore them in 1930, horse packers wore them in 1936, and smoke jumpers in 1939. Throughout our history, we've built our boots to be worn in the dust. From Virginia to Idaho to Washington, we're still here building our boots the same way. That means you can still wear a piece of our history and the history of America. And you might notice 1936 is when the horse packers or the mule packers, we did a whole video on this for the launch of these. So if you want more information about this whole story, it's really cool, because when they were moving everything out west during the early 1900s, there were not the same railways, there was not the same freeways and roads, and a lot of these new areas there wasn't even hardly trails. And so to pack in all the food, all the gear, all the resources to slowly build America, they needed mule packers, they needed horse packers, they needed to literally bring all that in on the backs of horses. And like I said, it wasn't groomed trails, it was tough trails. They're like barely cut trails, new trails. And so that's why a lot of them were mule packers, because mules are so much more agile and they can see a lot more around them. Maybe it's a rumor, I don't know, but I think their eyes are more side set. So when you're leading a big old train of mules and you get to a really rocky spot, you're gonna have to get off and guide the mules. You're gonna have to hike a little bit. You're gonna have to hoof it a little bit. And cowboy boots are not supportive enough to be hoofing it through the Rocky Mountains in 1936. And so that's where they basically invented the packer boot, which is a combination of a cowboy boot and basically a hiking logger, like rugged boot, to create the packer boot that still fits in the stirrups with the nice slim silhouette of the 690 last, still with the higher heel to lock you in and give you all that extra arch support. But instead of just a seamless shaft that has no lacing, they laced them up so you can actually tie them down and give you the support that you need. But when you're just riding around, you can loosen them up. And so you get all the best attributes of a cowboy boot and all the best attributes of a regular boot combined into one sick Western boot. And so these launch, I guess they're still available, so you can actually go buy one right now because you don't have to wait till the launch. And go watch that video. It was really, really cool. This is one of my favorite historical videos we've done in a long time. But to Opie way. What do you think of this, Taco? All right, that's a pretty good looking box. Look at that. Opie way, USA made, Opie way. Footwear manufacturing. Oh, Bloodcore in my size. Opie. That's that James Court High, I think is what they call them. It's a nice little, what is that, North Carolina? I don't know. I got family from North Carolina, and I should know what this state looks like. Okay, let's see what you guys are gonna be able to buy for the first time in a little mini collaboration between us and Opie way. I just gotta show you this boy. Look at his little head poking out underneath there. Woo! Woo! Dang, look at those. Those are so sick. I thought it was gonna be like James Court Highs. Dang. That is so sick. Because the thing is, we've been talking to Opie way for years about a potential collaboration. And the concept I really wanted to do was just like, let's just pare it down to the bare minimum, basically make an Opie way pair of Smugs. But instead of on the Smugs platform, the super tall one, we wanted to play with some of the patterning. And this is one of the cooler patterns that comes, for me, it comes a lot from like the skate world, because you have this big seamless panel on the front with no obvious stitching to wear out. Obviously you can wear through the leather, but this almost acts like a lineman patch. And so doing a kind of a skate-inspired sneaker that you can wear every day that's pared down as minimal as possible, like the Smugs, but still has boot thickness leather with a very boot-ish, like lineman logger boot style with this nice sweeping full panel patch that's basically a lace-to-toe pattern on a sneaker. Those are sick. I honestly didn't know this. I didn't think we could get this done. I didn't know that's what we were doing. And then you can see we've got a nice Ortholite, Ortholite insole. I'm a big fan of Ortholite. That's what we do with the saddle soles, because it's open cell foam that's really, really high quality, that doesn't bottom out. Like, they are the name in the industry for open cell foam. And underneath, got a simple Strobel stitch construction with a nice little Opie tape in there. Ooh, look at that. That's a nice little touch. And cup sole. And I don't know what's on the inside. I don't know if it's just a simple, if there's any layers in between or not. And then you do have a very, very simple lining in the forefoot. Looks like we need to trim this lining down just a little bit so it's not flapping right there. So we'll have them adjust that in the final pattern. But then that lining is also pretty, yeah, it is seamless. That's sick. So you get a seamless toe on the inside and the outside. And you obviously still have the internal counter cover around the heel, but completely unlined around your ankle. So what I really need to figure out is this wearable with a low top with this just straight cut collar without any extra padding, or is that gonna give you a little bit of a pinch point? And fortunately, everyone was so excited to see these before I got in that they unboxed them. We're like, let's just look at them. And then Jaron, I think, wore them around, and he said they fit, they worked perfectly. But you might notice we're missing some laces. So I think we'll send them with some Bloodcore laces because Justin rushed this through really quick for us. And I don't even remember why they didn't have the laces. Maybe it was just because they wanted to do the Bloodcore laces. So let me go grab some laces and I'll show you what it'll look like. Okay, got me a Bloodcore lace. I think I can probably just cut this in half. Does that look long enough? Let's try it. I'll cut it in half. We'll lace it in there. We'll see what's what. I didn't even use a knife, but this is the Live Wire by Kershaw and Blade HQ. But yeah, we definitely got to do Bloodcore. There's no other option. We have to. We have to. These are so sick. I did not. I honestly didn't even know it was Bloodcore. I thought, that's why I was like, I don't think it's an official collaboration because I think it's just gonna be like one of their standard models with maybe a small change. But in all reality, this is basically a full-on collaboration. Ooh, that looks slick. I like it. I like it. Okay, let's try them on. I need to figure out how to do the try-ons. Because I'm getting a new office soon. So I think it's actually time to do a little shop tour. So we'll probably be doing a shop tour next couple weeks, just kind of update you guys on where we're at. It's been about a year and a half since we moved in. And I think you'd be shocked when we have 1 million subscribers, but like my recording setup, you'd be like, you guys have 1 million subscribers and you record here? At least that's what everyone says when they come visit. They're like, hey, can I see your setup? I'm like, you're gonna be disappointed. And they're like, why don't you guys make a really nice, expensive setup? Because I'm like, we don't need a super expensive setup. It's YouTube. They're like, plus YouTube's such a pain in the butt to work with because you just arbitrarily, whatever. I'm not complaining about it. Let's try these. Let's try them on. Enough moaning. Okay, let's see how they fit. This is size 10. I'm a 10 on the Brannock, so this will give you a little bit of sizing information. Also link Opie sizing guide below. Or I should just pull it up. Let's see what their sizing recommendations are. My foot length is about 270 millimeters or 27 centimeters. So I'm on the lower end of the size 10. So that'll give us a good idea of how these are gonna size. Okay, it's hard to do this on camera, but I'll try. Flexible. Yeah, I think you just go with your Brannock size. You know, it's a little bit snug, but I can still wear these pretty easily. Just let me tie them up real quick for you. Oh, these look so freaking sick. I'm biased, obviously, but come on. So my toe goes to about right there. That's the end of my toe. So if you're, say, a 10 and a half, let's see what sizes they offer in that. So yeah, if you like a more traditional sneaker fit where it's a little bit of pressure on your toes, a little bit snug, I think you go true to your Brannock. But if you like a little bit roomier fit and you're between sizes, like you're a 10 and a half, I would go up to an 11. If you like a little bit looser fit. Otherwise, if you like normal fit or you like a little bit of snugness, I would just go with their standard sizing guide. So that would be my personal recommendations. These are so good. I don't even think we're cutting them either. Maybe we are. Do I get to keep these? So get ready for the drop of these. They drop on Thursday. The Sundances are technically still available, or you can wait for the drop, but you can buy the Sundances right now. These are gonna be limited quantities. We don't know if we're gonna bring them back. We have no idea what the future looks like for Opie Way, but if you can, support Opie Way. Not just through this collaboration. If it's not your deal, you know, like Bloodcore, check out their other products because it is an American story. It's an American brand that's faced the hardships of everything that everyone's been through for the last 10 years, and they're still pushing. They're still trying to make their dreams a reality. And so even if you don't support this collaboration, check out their other products because this is a brand worth supporting. And same with Whites. You know, they're both doing it the right way. They don't cut corners. They're trying to make the highest quality products humanly possible on American soil, and you gotta give it up to them. So thank you guys for your support. Thank you for support of my business and everything that's made it possible here in the United States. So thank you guys, appreciate it. See ya.